Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Jay.
I'm Meka.
This is our channel. Today, we're going to be doing our review for the 2025 horror movie Sinners.
Sinner.
Um, but before we get into that, thank you for joining us, taking a look at our content here. Check out our stuff. Give us a like, comment, subscribe. We got old stuff. We got new stuff coming. Um, like vibing with y'all. Hopefully, y'all like vibing with us. And we can grow together. All right. So, like I said, this is our review of the 2025 Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan horror vampire black movie Sinners. So this is the Michael B. Jordan Ryan Coogler movie. Like I said, has a good cast in it. You know, the Delroy Lindow's, um, the lady from Loki. I forget her name. And uh, Heidi Seinfeld,
Yeah.
and a newcomer who is great in the movie. So but what we're gonna do is we're just gonna get right into it. We're gonna get right into the movie and whatnot.
Yeah.
So pretty much the purpose and basis of the movie is two twin brothers from the Delta, Mississippi, leave Mississippi, go to Chicago. They're there for 7 years. They come back. They want to open up a juke joint called Club Juke, and essentially they get all their people together, and then
Hmm.
the whole thing is the night of the opening of the club. Um, so yeah, so that's pretty much where, and all the messiness happens at the club. So let's just get right
Straight
into
to
the
the club.
club. Yeah. So but yeah, they go. It's the twin brothers Stack and Smoke, or Smoke and Stack, Smoke Stack. Um,
That's
that's how I put it.
kind of cool name. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, check this out. Smoke, who was always with the smoke. Stack, it's about stacking money.
That's true. Oh,
So
that's good. I wonder if
yeah.
they thought about
All right,
it like
man. Hey, Ryan Coogler wouldn't surprise me.
that. It would not surprise me
I
either.
would imitate his accent, but man, if you ain't ever heard somebody with an LA accent or a California accent or wherever over there, he got it strong, and I like that. So
Yeah.
it's very authentic, brother. It seems like. Um, but they gonna get their cousin, who's a guitar singer, and guitar player, and a singer, and everything, to open up the juke joint.
Hmm.
They get some people from their community. Delroy Lindow, who love as an actor, great actor. He plays Delta Slim, who is a piano man. Like we said, Heidi Steinfeld plays a love interest to Stack.
Right.
Again, I do not remember the lady's name and I can't pronounce it, so that's why I'm being disrespectful and not meaning to by not pronouncing saying it. But the lady from,
Mispronouncing her name. Yeah.
but she plays Annie. She plays Smoke's love interest,
Hmm.
and they ended up having a child. We found out that didn't
That
make
did.
it play the role later. Um, but yeah, so they start building this club,
Right.
and all the
Okay.
people play a role.
Yeah.
You take over for a little bit.
So, one of the people that comes to the club is Mary, who is uh Stack's love interest, okay? Because these are twin brothers, right? So, turns out she is well known by most people in the community. So when she first comes up to, the club or whatever, at first they don't recognize her because it's been years since they've seen each other or whatever. So the guy at the door is like, not recognize her again,
Cornbread.
cornbread. So when she says who she is, he's like, "Oh yeah, you can go ahead and come in. It's fine." Because at first he was just like, because she's of a different race, like, "No, you're not coming in here." At first, because this club is mostly for
Black people.
black
Yeah.
people. So anyway, yeah, she goes in, and the party is going. The cousin, you want to talk about the cousin? Because I
Yeah.
think
So the cousin, his name is Sam. He is actually the son of a preacher man. And he's the music for the night. Um, his father, the preacher, doesn't want him to go. He ends up going. He said, "Hey, you keep going there, you're gonna meet the devil." Essentially, what he tells them.
yeah,
Right? You have Mary, as she stated, who they knew growing up, but she seems to be a white woman, but she's mixed. So is she like kind of passing white and whatnot?
right.
Um, so yeah, they actually got two people from the town previously to come and help them with food and with some of the tapestries. And they are of Asian descent. A lady named Grace, and I forget her husband's name because it doesn't really matter. You'll find out later. So yeah, that happened. So at the crux of things, um, he plays. First of all, let's talk about some of the cinematography to the movie. there's a scene where Sam actually gets to, you know, play this music, singing him and Delta Slim, and they have this scene where he's singing and like the music starts transitioning and all of the people in the club, you know, it kind of starts to show the evolution of music and how it came from
Yeah,
this to that. It shows DJs, people juking, breakdancing, West Coast music, all this other stuff. You know, it was really
basically showing the power of music and how it's transcended and how it just makes people move and happy and it's just like a whole thing, like
yeah,
yeah, it's a whole vibe.
yeah.
And to the point, well, I like
Oh
that
yeah.
that you said about the roof. I thought
So
that was cool.
the thing that I interpreted as is at a certain point, the roof starts setting on fire, and eventually the entire sawmill, which it is, burns down. And I thought that was just a visualization of, you know, the roof is on fire. We don't need no water. Let it burn. That's essentially what happened in that scene after showing the transgression of, you know, music throughout the years and, you know, different influences because it wasn't just black music. They showed a lot of things.
Yeah.
And it's actually representative of the people that were in the bar.
And the fire
In the
thing
club.
was like a state of euphoria. It
Yeah.
didn't actually burn down like
Yeah,
they.
it was just
It was just kind of like, again, like what music does to people, puts you in a different place and takes you to a different place. It's almost spiritual in a way, no matter what type of music it is, you
yeah.
know. So I think that's what they were trying to hint around to in that scene.
And actually not too far after that scene, we actually end up meeting uh what eventually becomes the villain of, well, actually we met him before,
Yeah.
Remix. Um Previously they show a scene where a man just essentially ends up flying into a scene, and he's like smoking in his daytime. He runs up to a house like, oh, help me, these people pull the guns on him, you know, which is wham. He sees the clan. Now this is the point. He sees the clan outfit
Yeah.
in their, you know, domicile or whatever, and people are chasing him. Come to find out, it's Remix. He's a vampire. He ends up biting people and changing them.
Yeah.
Then later, the people that he bit, he brings them to the clinic
Hmm.
to try to, you know, get in or whatever. And they said the music drew them there, which is true. He said it drew him, you know, towards him. So they go there. Stuff happens. They don't. We didn't let him in the club. I said we as black people. We didn't let him
They were like, yeah, y'all music cool or whatever, but nah,
in.
this ain't y'all vibe, and they wouldn't let him in.
Mhm.
And this goes into like how well this movie was done, because there were elements of like what happens with vampires. You have to invite them
Yeah.
in, you know,
That's the
and
big thing. Like one of the main rules, you
yeah,
have to invite a vampire in, as you know.
right,
So this is where it becomes very important in two ways, because right after this, the girl Mary, like,
hmm,
so the people at the bar, they're paying with, you know, their bartering system or the currency that they have. It's not real currency and whatnot. Side note, Stacks and Snow, Stacks and Smoke, when they went to Chicago, they worked for Al Capone. They stole a bunch of wine and stuff. They brought it down here to open the club. They need money. People ain't paying real money, so they need to get real money. And
yeah,
then Mary sees the people. She's like, hey,
they
they're
probably
white.
got
I'm white.
money.
I'll go and get the money for them because of A, B, and C. Takes her ass out there. Her ass gets bit.
She gets big.
Right? So now when she comes back to the club, now she's a vampire. So she has to ask to come in.
Yeah,
And she gets let in because
they don't know.
they don't know she's changed and they let her in previously. Right? So she comes in and then she ends up biting Stack, turning Stack, and just causing a bunch of chaos from there on out.
Yes.
You know, Stacks gets bit. Um, Later, now where we find out the whole thing about the let me in, the doorman Cornbread. Um, I don't have a picture of him up here, but Cornbread, he was the person watching the door. He goes out to use the bathroom. He gets bit. He comes back. He is asking to come in, and Annie, who
Hmm.
is very important, Smoke's partner. She knows witchcraft and she knows different spiritual things. Whatnot. Priestess.
She's a priestess.
She's
Yeah.
a priestess. She notices him acting weird. She's like, hey, she notices that he can't come in because she does know that one law of the vampires.
Hmm.
You know, so long story short, find out he's a vampire. Here they come. Here remix comes everything.
Yeah.
Um, Now to the part of the movie that angered me. So, you know, Stacks, he changes, all this stuff, they're fighting and da 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 da. Now the Lady Grace I told you was there to do the tapestries and whatnot, the Asian lady. You know, her husband goes out there with a goofy ass, he gets bit, he gets changed, cool. They have a daughter back home and Remy says, we're gonna go after your daughter. Okay, cool. Now she takes it upon herself to self and look this up. There's a gentleman on TikTok. His name is Abe47.
Mm-hmm.
He had a, and he's an Asian gentleman. He had a he had a perspective on this, which was extremely interesting to me. I wanted to add, and actually, I will. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna add Abe47. There's two other videos I'm gonna add. I'm gonna put them on here. Disregard that. That's called technical difficulties. Um, Hand gestures. I talk with my hands. The camera picks it up. But you know, I'm gonna link them here, but watch them. They're very interesting perspectives. But his was interesting on this because Grace decides to scream, "Come and get us," or something.
Yeah.
Come on in,
Come
inviting all of the, now, mind you, everybody in
Because
the
she's
club is going.
upset at
She's
this
upset.
point because he's threatened to go after their child,
Yeah, even
and
though
she's
her
like,
dying don't help none of that.
yeah, none of that helped. Like, so she's back there screaming. They trying to hold her back, and she's just like, right, and then they
They
bust
come
through
in.
that door
Yeah,
immediately,
and
and you knew immediately some crap was about to go down. Like, it was like,
yeah,
I got scared in that moment because I was like, because I was like, they're not gonna be able to beat these people, like. Because we didn't mention the part about after Smoke got bit. I mean, Stack got bit. That they sent everybody from the club home. Remember they sent
yeah.
everybody
So
from the club
everybody,
home?
yeah,
And when they did that, you know, Remick and all them, they outside. You see the little party they having outside. They bit all them people. So it's not just at one point. It was just three of them. It was Remick and the guy and the
yeah,
wife. Now it's like everybody that was in the club
yeah,
busting through this door. And I remember I kind of was like, oh,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
So
she did that. She let them in, and now they all have to fight. And long story short, they all end up, for the most part,
did.
they end up dying. Smoke actually kills Annie because she asked him to. She said, "Hey, kill me before I turn."
Yeah, she
And the
gets
weird
bit.
thing was when she died, like Stack and Mary kind of freaked out, like, "Why would you do that?" And I personally think because they explain that the vampires have like a hive mind, so they get the memories of the people that they turn. And I think they wanted to turn her because she was a priestess, so that they could get her knowledge. Remix could get the knowledge, and they all could, so that they could try to voice up. That's just my thought. There's nothing that would prove that besides the reaction
Right.
and what she did. So that's just my perspective on that. And then we see Stack and Smoke fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, Delta Stone, everybody else died pretty much, except for Sam. Sam goes outside and Remix gets to Sam in the water, and
Mm-hmm.
they're fighting and everything. And essentially, what happens is Sam hits Remix with his guitar, which had a silver plate on it, which hurts him. And then Smoke comes and stabs Remix through the heart with the wooden stake. And then the sun comes out. And then, you know, Remix and the rest of the vampires who, for some reason, don't have a good concept of time, like, hey, the sun's coming out. They all end up burning up and dying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then from there, Smoke gives Sam the car so he can go
Yeah,
home.
so you go home, and
And
he's probably expecting Sam to just go home and forget about this night.
this stuff right here. Now you see this right here? Perfect timing.
Yeah.
So what happens is, remember when we said earlier that Remix, when he showed up to that house, those two people had that clans outfit. Well, when they bought the little sawmill that they're making the club in, the gentleman that sold them to him was a grand wizard of the clan, I'll just say. Um, and he sold it to them so he could sell them out so he could come back and him and his clan could delete them. But Smoke was ready for that because Remix told them what they had set up. So the end of Smoke's story is he killed all of them. All must have been at least 15 of them.
Yeah.
He killed them all. He
But in the process, he ended up getting
shot and dying
himself. So and
yeah.
then yeah.
And the ending, we see Sam go to the church. He sees his father, and his father's like, "Give me the guitar to give up the music." And we actually see that Sam takes the guitar, takes the car, and eventually he ends up going north to Chicago.
Anyway, yeah.
And doing
and becoming a famous, you know,
yeah.
musician or whatever. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And that was the official ending of the movie. But there was, and as you'll see here, the picture in red, there was an end. There was two in credit scenes. One is Sam playing forget the song, but he's playing a song just on the guitar. That's crazy. But the second one is of Sam older, um, doing a show, and then at the end of the show, two people walk in to see him, and it actually is Stack and Mary, because Smoke in that moment, and we never see, he doesn't kill Stack. He says he lets Stack live. He says if he leaves Sam alone, if he doesn't hunt him down, he'll let him live. And they never explained how Mary ended up living, but she did. And then at this point, it's been 60 years, so I think that Sam is around 80, something like that. They give him an option to, and this is the picture right here. They give him an option to change, to turn or whatnot. And he decides not to, because at this point it's in the 90s. They look more updated, the clothing and stuff. And Sam says, "No, I'm cool. I'm gonna just go ahead and die. I've lived a full life."
Yeah.
And then that kind of ends, which kind of leaves it open for a sequel if they wanted to. Do I think they will personally? No. Do I think they can? Yeah. Do I have an idea? Possibly. Yeah. I mean, you got Stack, you got Mary, and now they've learned over the years how to do certain things. So possibly. But what do you think?
Yeah. No, I think it's a potential for a sequel. I mean, it obviously wouldn't have Sam in it, right? Because he would already be in the past. But what if it's like a son or something that he had, or a daughter that he had, or something, and they're still trying to get this talent from his generation? I don't know, but great movie.
Yeah, I thought it was really
Great
good.
movie.
This movie was in my top 5
Yeah.
to see for the year. It wasn't number 1, but it was in my top 5, and I I left content. I left happy. I wasn't over the roof for it, but it was really good to me.
I was.
No,
really
again.
liked it. I think so much so that I told Jay, like, I want to go see it again, like in theaters again, because it is one of those movies that you almost have to watch more than once, because I have a feeling that we missed, some things in there, like context clues and things or whatever. So
I'm actually gonna do a short about that too, like a video about some of the things that
the symbolism and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But great movie, and this was a spoiler, clearly.
Yeah.
So so yeah, but yeah. Go see it in the comments if y'all seen it. We'd love to hear what y'all think about it. Y'all feedback on the movie. Anything y'all saw that we may have missed or you thought was interesting even in the movie, Yeah, leave it in the comments. Follow us on all our social media. We post regularly on TikTok, Instagram, X, all those different platforms. And, hit that notification bell so you can stay, up to date on all of our latest uploads. And again, thank you all for all y'all support and following us.
Yeah.
And that's it.